Welcome back, everybody. So, truck's got 30,000 miles, 30,444 to be exact. And right now we're just going to take a look at everything and see how it's held up in that time. So here it is, my 2.7. I'd fail miserably in any kind of a race, but if you follow my channel, you know speed isn't exactly what I bought it for. So tonight we're just going to check the fluids and the filters. With 30,000 miles, that's pretty much all we need to check at this point. So, the engine oil, a little dirty since it is almost time for an oil change, but full. The power steering fluid still nice and clean. Brake fluid still looks good. Washer fluid could stand to be topped off. The coolant, kind of tough to see it on camera, but it looks good. Engine air filter needs to be replaced. Cabin air filter definitely needs to be replaced. I'm embarrassed to say this is the first time I've ever looked at it. Take care of your cabin filters better than I do. And then the front and rear differential just needs to be changed out, although that's another video for another day. And all in all, truck's looking pretty good. I remember at the dealership they had a 30K service, and you know, 30,000 miles, I mean, the vehicle's still new. I mean, everything we just did is pretty much all a mechanic's going to check on 30,000 miles. The battery still looks good, although I'll probably pick up some terminal protectant to prevent corrosion. So right now I'm going to run to AutoZone and get the stuff I need. I'll see you guys in a couple seconds when it's light outside. All right, so we're back. We got the filters and the terminal protectant. So we'll go ahead and swap out this air filter. And out it comes. Then check the housing, make sure there's no debris in there, and there isn't. Compare the old part with the new part. Then just slide it in place and secure it. Then, it's tough to see it on video, but you actually have two of these tabs, one on each side. Make sure they line up. Here's the other one. Then just secure these tabs. And that's done. Then the cabin air filter, remove everything out of the glove box. And then this would be a good chance to take a damp rag and just kind of clean it out if it needs it. We'll go ahead and pop this off. It just latches up. Then two little clips here, one here and one here. You can just push them in. Out comes that little cover. Then out comes the old cabin air filter. Then same thing, compare the old with the new. Then just slide the new filter in there. Put your covers back on. And now that's done. And now you're ready to take care of your battery. So first you're going to grab some gloves. And then some guys will just put the battery protectant over the terminals as is. But I really don't like dealing with corrosion. So we're going to grab the 10mm socket, remove them, put them on, and then put the terminals back on. Just don't do this part if you got to get a smog check, because your computer's going to have to reset itself after this too. So, disconnect the battery. You'll go ahead and disconnect the negative battery terminal first, then go for the positive one, and I may have to set the camera down to do this. There we go. Now I'm going to get a rag and clean all this off. There we go. Got that all nice and clean. I even took the handle that holds it in place off because there was a little bit of corrosion starting to form. I got that soaking right now. I nip corrosion in the bud. I just don't like dealing with it. So we'll go ahead and start by putting a little bit on each terminal. Then just rub it around. Like so. Then I'm going to put this clamp back on, but this is why I don't like dealing with corrosion. Just a little bit of corrosion that was on this already ate away at the paint on this. And if corrosion can mess this up this bad, imagine what it'll do to your hands if you let it get out of control and deal with it then. I mean, yes, you're going to wear a pair of gloves when you work on it, but I'd rather just catch it before it starts. I mean, if you're looking at it and you can clearly see it coming, don't let a small problem turn into a big one. I even just wiped off the side of the battery. Clean this like you're about to eat your lunch off it. Don't actually eat your lunch off it, but you know what I mean. All right, so now the clamp is back on. Now you're ready to reconnect your battery. And this time it's important to make sure you do the positive first, then the negative. And then now that that's done, I like to take what's left of the grease, put it on top of the terminals, and then just rub it all in. Just like that. Then, if you have a newer Toyota, go ahead and start it. After disconnecting the battery, it's going to take a couple of tries. And then after that, you can shut it off. But if you're working on someone else's car who doesn't really know much about vehicles and you don't want them asking you why their car isn't starting, that's how you do it. For some reason, Toyota, you disconnect the battery, you have to try it a couple of times before the vehicle starts. And then the ECU will have to reset itself after disconnecting the battery, but that's going to happen just by driving it. Then just clear this off, because this right here is the air that actually goes into the vehicle. And if it's hot, or if it's the dead of winter, that's your air conditioning and your heater. And that pretty much concludes a 30K checkup. This is pretty much across the board, any make or model. With the Tacoma or any other vehicle that has a differential, the differential fluid needs to be changed out, but that's going to be another video for another day. Back when I was at the dealership, however, they had a 30K service, a 60K service, a 90K service, I believe a 120K service, 150K service, and going up from there. And it's like, you can just pop the hood and look at a lot of this yourself. But the other thing they also like to drive home was aftermarket parts are inferior to factory parts. And I mean, sometimes yes, sometimes no. But a lot of the guys at the dealership also got a lot of their parts from AutoZone or O'Reilly's for their own cars, so I actually have a video on when to go aftermarket and when to go factory. I'll go ahead and leave a link in the description. But as the mileage goes up, just keep an eye on certain things and you'll be set. And that's pretty much with any make or model. And don't forget, new videos every Sunday. Like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I will see you guys next week.